Accountability has been a huge part of your current journey, and you'll not know how much of an effect it's had on you until you take something like that away. It's like a life jacket. You've got to be able to be on your own and succeed. What I highlight coaching to be is that it's like having an extra guide or an extra safety clip on the bungee cord. Eventually that safety clip is going to have to come off and you're going to have to jump on your own off the cliff. The accountability needs to be kept in some way, shape or form. Now, in order to be successful and have autonomy over this, you're going to have to create your own accountability systems. And to stick to your own accountability systems, you're going to have to be quite self-disciplined. You're going to have to be able to be comfortable with you failing and not wanting to check in with yourself, but checking in anyway. It's a difficult process that will take some time, and that's why this is a graded approach away, in where you are checking in with yourself. Once you're checking in with yourself and you're going through tough parts and you know what to do using the education portal and the coaching alongside that, you'll be able to figure out solutions to your own problems. You'll have seen it before, whether it was in the dieting phase or in the lifestyle phase, where you've cropped up and, like, let's say for example, your work's got super busy and you haven't been doing your steps. How do you re-engage that? How do you make yourself accountable so that you do those steps that you really love doing and you make it a priority again? But that all comes when you're comfortable with saying that you're not good at anything. You have to admit that you suck to be able to get over that hump of expecting to be perfect or expecting to not disappoint yourself. You're going to disappoint yourself when your accountability, when your own self is your own accountability method. You have to be comfortable in saying, yeah, this month was crap, or yeah, I know I should have done this or I should have done that, but I didn't. You have to be comfortable with checking in with yourself and telling yourself that. It's something called fear of the accountability, which is quite rife. It's why people don't check in with their coaches. It's why people say, oh, this is too hard for me, or I don't respond to my coach. It's the fear of that accountability where they have to go over that stepping stone of admitting that they were wrong or they didn't do very well at something. But if you can already admit to yourself that you're not very good anyway, or that you're never going to be perfect, or that it's okay to fail quickly, fail often, and use those failings to learn, if that's the mantra of what you've got, you should have no issues with having a higher level of accountability with yourself. Setting your accountability up for the long term is something that I would definitely do on a week-to-week basis if you like that week-to-week contact. The way that I would do it is I would have that accountability on a Friday when I was planning my week for ahead for the next week. I check in with myself business-wise at 8:30 on a morning on a Friday morning. I would have my personal check-in at 8 a.m. where I would answer questions such as body weight, adherence levels to your food intake, any deviations. I would use the same check-in sheet that you utilize at the moment, but answer it yourself. I would answer that without any thought of the returning answers, and then I would leave it for a minute, go and get a coffee, come back to it and review it again and say, okay, these are my biggest struggles. Look at what you can do to make those struggles better. You almost have to take yourself out of that. You almost have to say, this isn't me. I'm looking as a view on someone else's life, someone else's check-in. You've become the coach now. And you can look back on that and say, okay, clearly the problem is with the steps, or clearly the problem is that I had too many social events last week. What do you do to make that better? You can write out a strategy plan for the week, just a few different notes within your journal, and then you can crack on with your week knowing that you don't need many large-scale changes. Now, in the videos below about when to change a program, when to do a mini cut, how long to keep on pushing calories until you push it up, they will answer those minor details that will give you the education, but it all starts with the accountability, because if you know all of that stuff around training and when to increase calories, when to decrease calories, it's not going to mean crap if you don't actually check in with yourself. So this is the most important thing. Be okay with failing early or failing quickly, failing often, and using failure as learning, and you will be absolutely fine when it comes to reducing your likelihood that you're going to hit that fear of accountability.